Scott Adams. Scott Adams believed in a powerful truth. That your imagination is the interface to reality. That your creativity and your imagination, also your intention and your emotion, they're the control panel. They're the user manual that you were never given to reality. It's the cheat code. Do you ever get into a game and I don't play games generally, but I'll get into a game with my kids and they're playing FIFA or they're playing Fortnite, and I'm playing FIFA with them, and they're passing, and it looks like they've got some sort of cheat code going, and I'm running off the pitch, and I don't know where I'm going. I don't even know where to get to the ball. And then you play Fortnite with them, and after about 10 seconds you die, and they're calling you a bot. I don't know what's going on. I just open my eyes and I get shot. It's like when I was playing paintball, there was bullets everywhere. I'm not used to guns. There's bullets everywhere, and you're just getting hit left, right, and centre. And you think they have a cheat code? Do they have a cheat code? Are they doing that? Do they have a cheat code? But what Scott Adams says is that imagination and attention and emotion. He says emotion's not necessary, but emotion's important. Imagination, intention, and emotion are the cheat code to reality. So when everyone is like me in a computer game and doesn't know how to get to the ball and is clearly running off the pitch and trying to get back onto the pitch again and trying to play FIFA with my children, and I can't even see where the ball is. If you want everyone to be like that, but you are like the guy with a cheat code who is running past everybody, who's passing it, and somehow, like, how is he doing that? And Scott Adams' answer is, I'm rereading his books because he died recently, and I just it made me want to reread the books. But Scott Adams says that imagination and attention and emotion are the cheat code to reality. They're the interface to reality. They're the user manual that you weren't given for reality. That you were never, it was hidden from you. The user manual. So that's what Scott Adams says. And he talks about affirmations. But this is just like in Gaelic mythology, we call it the Dagda's Cauldron. In Gaelic mythology, is a story of the Dagda's Cauldron. And the Dagda brings out his cauldron, and it's a cauldron of plenty. So no matter what you take from it, it always refills. It's always overflowing. And this is a metaphor for the incredible, beautiful imagination that's always overflowing. No matter what you take from it, refills. And I'm going to go so far as to say that the imagination is not even in your head. The imagination comes in from outside. It's inspiration. It's in spirit. That's the Dagda's Cauldron. And this is what Scott Adams refers to. In both these books, he talks about reframe your brain and how to win at almost everything. How to fail at almost everything and still win big. But he talks about, particularly with how to fail at almost everything, he gives his list of failures that he went through. And if you have tried things in life and had a difficult time, if you're one of these guys who doesn't play it safe, quite like me, and has had a difficult time, has hit roadblocks sometimes, has failed sometimes, you want to read this book, because when you read his list of failures, it's going to make you feel incredibly good, because you can't fail as many times as he did. No matter how terrible your life has been, I think you just can't. He's tried so many things that you cannot fail as many times as he has. But you also see in the end he became incredibly successful. So this is important. This is really important. Now, Scott Adams never put it in mystical terms as such. He believed deeply that the imagination was the interface to reality. But I'm going to say cheat code, because it makes more sense. Imagination is the cheat code to reality. And he talks about it in both of these books. And he believed this deeply. He never talked about mythological terms. That wasn't his thing. But he said that, yes, you should. You can do affirmations, you can focus, you can do the meditation. You can do certain meditations to relax your body and get into what's called a state akin to sleep. It's not sleep, but it's a highly relaxed state. And that's the time when your imagination and focus will work the best. But he believed it deeply that the imagination was the interface to reality. And not only he lived his life by it, he absolutely lived his life by it. He talks about it here, about the times when he used affirmations or imagination. And when he did, unexpected events happened in his life. And sooner or later, he got to a successful conclusion. But he also says, and this is important, he also says that when he got successful and made a lot of money, he figured out, well, I did all those actions. It wasn't like something mystical. It was like, I was doing all those actions, so I know how I did it. I can do it again. But when he did it, so I don't need affirmations, or I don't need imagination, I don't need to meditate. But when he did it without the affirmations, when he did it without the imagination, when he did it without the meditation, without the emotion, everything fell apart for him. Everything fell apart. So this is something that you can test. It's something that you can test. If you do it, does everything fall apart for you? It's testable. I'm not saying believe me now because I'm saying this, and I'm not saying believe Scott Adams because he wrote about it in books. I'm saying it's testable. It's something you should test for yourself. Now, it's important to remember that when I say imagination, this is not about daydreaming. It's not about when you're in school and you were staring out the window when you were daydreaming. And it's not about watching TV or just turning your brain off. It's about intentional imagination. It's about feeling the feelings. It's about using the time when you just wake up or before you go to sleep. It's about that special time. Also, around sound is a great time, but it's about intentional imagination, intentional emotion. It's about intentional using your brain intentionally in order to move where you want to go. Now, in order to do that, you need to know where you want to go, but you can just pick something simple at first, test it out. Maybe you just want to, I want to have an ice cream next week, something simple. The ladder test, Neville Goddard talks about the ladder test. I will not climb a ladder, I will not climb a ladder. Because the unconscious, the Dagda's Cauldron, the imagination doesn't understand negatives. So if you say, I will not, I will not, I will not, it will not climb a ladder, I will not climb a ladder, I will not climb a ladder. All the imagination, all of your unconscious here is ladder, 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 ladder. So it doesn't matter if you say it negatively or positively. But positively is useful, but either way it works. Now, Scott Adams, when you read these books, you realise, Scott Adams lived his life by this. He used it in his own life, and when he did, things worked out. He got that unexpected, benevolent change. But the important thing is you're not waiting. You're not saying, okay, I did this, when is it coming? Just live your life. You take the action. The universe rewards action you take, so you take the actions. You move towards what you want. He became a famous cartoonist, but he had to create some cartoons. He had to send it to promoters. There's plenty of actions that have to be done, but the intention and the imagination pushes it forward for you. So that is the imagination. What Scott Adams talks about, intention and imagination and affirmations. In both these books, Reframe Your Brain and How to Fail at Almost Everything. And it connects completely into Gaelic mythology, because this is all about the Dagda's Cauldron. The emotion is about the goddess Eru, and Lu is about the focus. The focus is so important in this. And Lu, which connects in with, he's not a sun god, but Lu represents the sun, and the sun is about focus, the light. So we'll talk more about this later on. This means we talk about Scott Adams' books, and how imagination, Scott Adams says imagination is the user interface for reality. It's been Alan here from Looking for Warriors. Tá or Law Inish.